You all, I'm B, CEO Mobster here, and yeah, let's just jump right into this because this needs to be talked about like expeditiously in my TI voice, okay? So I seen this clip on IG and I immediately reflected on a lesson I learned the hard way with my baby daddy. So yeah, y'all watch this real quick.
Thin line between loyalty and stupidity. Don't ever let a nigga run that game on you too. And that wasn't my situation. I'm just saying for niggas out there, cause I see this happen. You ain't loyal. Niggas are running that loyalty, nigga. Alright, now I'll be loyal, but I ain't gonna be stupid, nigga. Yeah, you ain't just gonna use that loyalty to the point to where it's like I'm out here just betraying myself. That's real. I'm so loyal to you that I betray myself. Yeah, that's real. You know what I'm saying? My man.
Alright, so raise your hand if you have ever tried to make it work with somebody for reasons other than because you truly wanted to be with them. Don't worry, sis, I'll wait because I'm about to raise my hand. Now, imagine that scenario that I just mentioned and a baby is added to that. Right. So more often than not, a lot of moms, including me, will try to make their relationship work with their kid's dad for all the wrong reasons. My top reasons why I try to make it work with my baby daddy are dumb, but it's the truth. Judge your mama, don't judge me. Number one, I try to prove a point to the other three baby mamas, in particular baby mama number 3. Whole nother story. Comment if you want a story time about that. 2, I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be another quote unquote black baby mama. And 3, neither one of us grew up in the house with our like actual biological parents. So he didn't grow up with his dad and I didn't grow up with my biological mom. So going into that, we both agreed that we wanted to, make it work. And then number 4, I was trying to avoid karma. So back in the day, I used to be a store manager for DTLR. And when I tell you, I used to talk so much trash about baby mamas. Because I was 29, I ain't had no kids. I could do what I want to do. I ain't had no man, telling me, whatever. So yeah, the Lord had to humble me real quick. And I was humbled. I became a baby mama. But a lot of the times, people really want to stay with their baby daddies. Or go back to their baby daddies, or keep going back to their baby daddies, or try to make it work with their baby daddies, is because of the history of their relationship. It ain't got nothing to do with, I really love this man, and I really want my family to work, and I really want whatever. It's strictly off of the history that y'all got together. So, case in point with me. Me and my baby daddy, I've known him since 2013, since I lived in Charlotte. We was cool at first, we was just friends or whatever. It wasn't really no relationship. And then, I don't know, he pursued me for 3 months, and I was like, nah, I'm good, nah, I'm good, nah, I'm good, no thank you, nah, I'm good. And then, we went out, one night for dinner, and we was together ever since. And then 3 months later, I'm pregnant. But within that time frame, we had so many conversations with each other, late night conversations, ride through the city, because that's what you do when you're trying to be cool and cute. And it just how can I put this delicately? I felt like we had a history because I knew so much about him, somewhat about his family and his kids, and about his dreams and his goals and aspirations and all that. So I assumed, I knew him. Not to mention, we had been through a lot together within the time frame of, I guess, baby mama number 3 finding out that we was together. And from the time I had Cameron, hell, even to now, to be honest with you. But in that time frame, when, I had Cameron or whatever, and we was together, I really was I really want to make this work, but it wasn't for the right reasons. I also allowed him to, kind of put in my head that struggle love syndrome. You know what I mean, struggle love. Oh, if you love me, you'll stick with me through thick and thin, through better or for worse. Okay, Now, before you get your panties in a bunch all about that, yes, we should, stand by our man, when times is hard. But how many times we got to stand by you because you cheating? Or, just doing ignorant stuff. So it was, to me, the story was, well, you need to stick by me because if you loyal, if you love me, you'll just deal with my mess and you'll keep it going. You'll deal with it and you'll stay with me no matter what. Who? Not I, said the cat. I wasn't raised like that. Okay? So that was all playing a part in why I was trying to stay. I was trying to thug it out, work it out, because I thought we had all this history together and, it's going to be a beautiful love story that we could tell our kids. Me and your dad went through a lot and, we made it through. Whole time, I knew this was some shit going on. You know it. I knew it. I'm going to give you a good example. Okay. So, you be in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days. I know with COVID, it was different. But I was in the hospital for 3 days or whatever. Day 3, it's time to go home, whatever. We going home. And I was nursing Cameron, but because I was not producing enough milk, I also had to do formula. So we ran out of formula because I did steal from the hospital. Technically, I bought it because my insurance paid for it, but whatever. But I took all the formula from the hospital. Long story short, by the time we got home, because he wanted to ride throughout the city and show my baby off, by the time we got home, the formula was out. So I was like, hey, he's on one bottle. He got one last bottle because I bought the little ready-made formula, the one you just put the nipple on top, because I wasn't about to go through all that. I was like, hey, we got one bottle left, can you go to Walgreens and get some more milk? My man's told me he was tired. Pick your mouth up, sis. You heard me right. He said he was tired. Like, he just pushed the baby out 3 days ago, ain't been to sleep, none of that, you know what I'm saying? He said he was tired. I said, well, I'm tired too. Like, I just, had your baby and all that good stuff. So can you, go down the street, go to Walmart or Walgreens or wherever and get the formula? Again, he goes, no, I'm tired. You can go. I didn't just push a baby out. My womb is not still open. I could get an infection. Not to mention, it was snowing. I don't mean like no hard, like snow. It was like, flaky, whatever they call it. Flaky, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And in that moment, I knew I had ducked. Wholeheartedly. Ducked. Yeah. So I asked one last time, what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, maybe he just joking. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm still on the good drugs from the hospital. I don't know. So I said, listen, he got one more bottle left. He got to eat in like 3 more hours. Can you please just go get some more formula? He was like, I already said I'm not going. Here go the money. Just go get it. It's right up the street. You're not going to get sick. Just go. And proceeds to lay down with the baby. So, I got in my car and I went to Walgreens and I got my baby's formula and I cried from Walgreens, back to my apartment, sat in the parking lot for the extra 5 minutes and cried, yeah. So, long story short, that's when I knew right there that this ain't what it is. But I still tried to make it work because we've been through all this stuff with baby mama number 3. I have several story times or several stories about that. Let me know, comment below if you're interested in hearing about those. But I literally tried to make it work based off of the history that we had together. I really hit a breaking point. Something serious happened between me and him. And that was when I was like, what am I really here for? And I say that because my son's daycare teacher, God bless her, like, she brought it to my attention. She would tell me, like, Cam is really crying a lot, and, he's not really adjusting well, and I'm not sure what's happening because he was fine before. And now all of a sudden it's just like these constant like crying spits. And he just can't get, settled. So I'm like, well, I don't really know what's going on, But this happened for like, I say a week or so. I mean, even when he was home, Cameron could not settle. He was not rested. He was crying a lot. He was super clingy. And I say clingy, like my man had to be around me or with me. And if he didn't see me, he started like crying. And it wasn't that like, you know how some toddlers or some kids have that they don't see their mom. They go through that stage if they don't see their mom or, a familiar face, they start panicking. Nah, it wasn't that, because my man has always been independent. But he really got to a point where he just like always had to cling to me. And so she and I were talking one day, and we actually, built a relationship. And we talked about, him crying still. And she was like, well, I know something is wrong with you. What you mean by that? Should I be offended or should I confess? I don't know what I should do. And she literally told me, like, you going through a lot with your baby daddy. She's like, I don't know what it is, but I can tell. Like, your whole spirit is just confused and hurt. And you need to do something about it because it's affecting your son. Now, at the time, I was breastfeeding Cameron. And people don't realize your emotions and your feelings go to your kid. They really do. And he was feeling what I was feeling. All that turmoil and confusion and knowing I shouldn't have been in this situation. Trying to make something work, make something shake with somebody who really weren't trying to do the same for me. That's when I realized, okay, I got to choose my happiness over this history that we got. Okay, yeah, we got a baby together. Okay, yeah, we done been through a little stuff here and there. But in my mind, I had, made this Disney fairy tale of everything that we went through to have this amazing story to tell Cameron later on in life. When in actuality, I was hurting Cameron and myself. So all I'm saying is, my good girlfriend, don't pick history over your happiness. If your baby daddy, if your husband, your situationship, your whatever it is hindering your happiness, girl, go. Pack your and go, sis. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Gucci said it best. Miss one, next 15, one coming. And I live by that motto now. Miss one, next 15, one coming. Now, that don't mean go out and look for every Jill, Jack, and Jane, or whatever you into. But don't choose being with somebody because you have this past. I don't care if it's 1 year, 5 years, 15, 20 years. Don't do it. Don't settle, because your kids are going to suffer. Your kid will suffer from that. Don't choose dealing with somebody because you got a past and you don't want to break up the past, or you just too scared to walk away. No, run, sis, run. Because your happiness is more important than your history. Don't be in a situation just because you think, oh, well, we've been together for so long, he'll eventually get it right. Or we've been together so long, what's the point of even trying? So you're going to suffer? You're willing to suffer and in turn make your kids suffer? I don't care if your kids are grown. I was in college my freshman, sophomore year, and my dad was trying to make it work so bad with my stepmom. But he was miserable. She was miserable. They were tired of each other. But because they wanted to make it work for their kids, they tried to stick it out. I knew that. I went home and the energy was so tense and so just uncomfortable that I even stopped going home as much because I couldn't stand like that feeling. So all I'm saying is, should pick happiness over history and don't deal with what you don't need to deal with just because you want to be in a relationship or you want to make it work. Okay? Until next time, mobsters, and keep mobbing, y'all.